Alexandre Pantoja sits comfortably atop the UFC flyweight food chain, looking every bit the king destined for a long reign. But if it weren't for the setbacks he faced early in his career, he wouldn't be the legend that he is today. Here are all 5 losses of Alexandre Pantoja's career that define his greatness. Pantoja started his MMA journey in 2007, securing a single win in his debut year by submission. 2008 was a mixed year for the Brazilian as he won his first fight of the year before facing his first setback at the hands of William Viana, who dominated the proceedings with his superior grappling to churn out a split decision win.
Roubado ali, pode bater realmente antes da hora. Manteve a calma o William Viana.
Grande combate, realmente combate técnico.
10 segundos para o final do combate, até aqui o que ficou, Arthur Mariano. Falta um pouco mais de trabalho para o Pantoja evitar ser
First losses in MMA are always tough, just like getting those first few hundred subscribers. Both require patience and support to overcome, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and help our channel grow. Anyway, in 2009, Pantoja roared back with 5 dominant wins in a single year, all with hopes of breaking into the big leagues by 2010. However, his momentum hit a roadblock when Jussier Formiga momentarily derailed his hype train by beating him to a decision. Pantoja dug deep once more and emerged stronger than ever, stringing together an impressive 9-fight win streak. By late 2014, he claimed the RFA flyweight title with a slick submission victory to put his name on the MMA map.
With the choke! How deep is it?
He's out.
It's good night, Irene! The belt changes hands, Manzanero is asleep!
Just 8 months later, he squared off against Legacy FC flyweight champ Damasio Page in a high-stakes champion versus champion superfight for the AXS TV flyweight superfight title. In the fight, the cannibal devoured Page like a true predator, finishing him in less than 2 rounds and adding another belt to his growing collection.
Page holds on!
Is he out? Is he out? He's out!
He's asleep!
He's out!
It's good night, Irene!
Oh my!
Pantoja has put Page to sleep in the dying seconds! RFA goes 3-1 overall! Page is out!
Playing games with him on the ground.
Put him to sleep, Pac.
I was wondering with that amount of time left and as hard as he was cranking, if he wasn't going to be asleep by the time the bell sounded.
Pantoja's dominant win over Damasio Page was his golden ticket to the Ultimate Fighter 24, where he beat future legends and contenders like Brandon Moreno and Kai Kara France and beat them to qualify for the semi-finals. But he'd be knocked out by Japanese sensation Hiromasa Uji-Kubo. Pantoja would make it to the UFC despite the loss, and with back-to-back victories over Eric Shelton and Neil Seery, the Brazilians seemed primed for a quick rise into flyweight title contention.
I think I'm ready for the top 10s. I'm like fight like a Benavides. It's fight good for me.
But just as his ascent gained momentum, he hit a roadblock named Dustin Ortiz. At UFC 220, Pantoja went up against Dustin Ortiz in a back-and-forth brawl where both men gave it their all. The Brazilian, however, had more control time and felt like he had won after 3 rounds of battle, but the scorecards, which favored Ortiz, left Pantoja and everyone else puzzled.
He had my back most of I don't want to say most of the time, but when he controlled it, he just didn't do much with it, you know, and when I was in control, I was chopping on him, you know, I was breaking him down, I was moving him, and so yeah, absolutely, I felt like I did enough.
Refusing to let the tough loss hold him back, Pantoja bounced back strongly, picking up wins over Brandon Moreno, Ulka Sasaki, and Wilson Rice. The victories set him up for a crucial fight against Davison Figueiredo, with title contention hanging in the balance. The fight was an all-out war between 2 of the flyweight division's very best. Pantoja started cautiously, fighting off the back foot, but soon threw everything he had behind his punches, knowing he needed something extraordinary to secure the win. Despite his efforts, Figueiredo's sharper and heavier shots earned him a clear decision victory. Not long after, Figueiredo captured the flyweight title setting the stage for an epic 4-fight rivalry with Brandon Moreno that spanned from 2020 to 2023. Meanwhile, Pantoja kept grinding as he determined to claw his way back to a long-awaited title shot, and he made a stunning comeback by knocking out Matt Schnell. In his next fight, Pantoja squared off against the undefeated Askar Askarov, hoping a victory would punch his ticket to a title shot. But fate had other plans.
Everything is a God plan, you know. And I have a great opponent in the Saturday. I'm focused for him. I think me and Davidson gonna win this fight. And I want to fight with Davidson in Brazil. And you know, it's like a perfect dream.
Pantoja's dream was shattered once again. The fight was another grueling test of will and skill, with Askarov relying on his wrestling-heavy style and sharp boxing to keep Pantoja on the back foot, ultimately earning a decision victory. The loss hit Pantoja hard, not just in the cage, but also in life as his financial struggles worsened by the pandemic, and he had to make tough choices. To keep his championship dream alive, Pantoja sent his family back to Brazil, pouring the little money he earned from working Uber Eats into training for his next fight. His sole focus was his showdowns with Manel Kape and Brand Royval in early 2021.
1 week before that fight, I'm delivering Uber Eats, and that's running, and I'm sick. And when I go to the fight week, I'm very sick, and I'm very scared to take the COVID again, you know. And I just pray to it's not be a COVID, because I just have like a 1 month for my bills, you know.
With his back against the wall, Pantoja fought with everything he had. He won both of his fights against Kape and Royval, earning enough to bring his family back to the United States.
That's about sacrifice for me, you know. And that moment, I won the fight of Manel, and I put all the money in the down payment for that house, and bring my family back. This is the more important to myself. But when my family back, the money short money, and my wife start to clean houses, and I'm start to drive Uber.
Pantoja's financial struggles were far from over, but he knew that the only way out was through victory. With his eyes firmly set on the UFC flyweight title, he kept pushing forward, collecting paychecks and piling up wins. After 3 back-to-back victories, he finally earned his shot at the flyweight crown against Brandon Moreno, the same man he had beaten twice before.
I'm fighting for entertainment, you know, but I'm fighting to complete domination my opponent. I put everything in the cage, and I'm happy. I'm so happy because I have this fight with the champion, Brandon Moreno. I know it's a tough opponent, and maybe can do the fight of the night. I know that.
The fight lived up to its billing as the fight of the night at UFC 290, where Pantoja and Moreno went to war. In a back-and-forth battle, Pantoja dug deep and edged out a hard-fought decision victory to fulfill his dream of becoming the UFC flyweight champion. Since then, Pantoja has successfully defended his title twice, first against Brandon Royval and then against Steve Erceg. Now at the peak of both his financial and professional life, Pantoja looks absolutely unstoppable. But with a relentless pack of contenders hot on his heels, like demons nipping at his heels, Pantoja will have to dig even deeper if he wants to keep that belt for the long haul. Will he be able to do that? Let us know in the comments.